Welcome, everybody. We have the third round here. Play all three, of course. And every round's important, but especially this round important because Andy only has 2 wins right now in his group. He's going to need to get more wins. And ACCM will feel like he wants to stay at top of the group and win the series. ACCM playing as the Japanese. We have Andy as the Catans. You would not have seen this civilization picked a week ago for this map, I think, Dave. It's all because of the water change and because Hulks do melee damage. And forging is the attack upgrades. They're double for the Catans. I think Andy wants to play water with the Hulks here.
He's laming.
Wow.
And he might find the two goats on the way back too. He sent that forward straight away. He's gonna find the goats as well.
Wow, that's a crazy start.
Yeah, that's really good value from Andy if he can get this thing home.
Yeah.
Even just the goats are great for him, and he already knows where ACCM is. And it's only 2 minutes into the game. So that was super, super early for Andy.
Let's talk about what is ACCM doing right now. He's pushing in his zebras. He's just assuming that his opponent's not going to steal. This is one of the first big lames we've seen on this map. But we see it all the time. Players will take the risk and it doesn't work out. Occasionally it does. And high risk, high reward. Andy will have a weaker scout. But that's worth it for me, dude. That's a huge boost.
Yep. Did he see that elephant leaving? Because he just scouted that with the goat. I don't know.
I don't know if he did. I think it's possible the elephant was in that little bubble of darkness. I'm not exactly sure, but I think it should come to the conclusion eventually that it's been stolen, and then we'll just push in the 2 final zebra to recover.
Do you think Andy plays water here now? Or does he just take that elephant and try and get his land eco up and running? Try and get some early pressure on land and then go back to water later. Does he even go for fish?
I think, well, either or is fine. So I like the fact that we've seen both. I think that you could do either one. As long as you don't like completely ignore water or completely ignore land here, I think it could work out fine. So, but it's kind of fun. Like, and it's also interesting with yesterday in mind. Yesterday, we had players researching forging because they know forging applies to the Hawks. But because Hawks have 4 melee armor, in that instance, Ornlu and I didn't think that the forging actually did anything. So you get 4+1, but the opponent still has 4 armor, so it's still like 1 damage. So
it might be a holdover from Thalassocracy, right? Because they used to have 5 base attack.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then they were changed. And I was actually playing games. I was playing some Nomad tournament games yesterday, and I was testing out the water, and it actually felt like it was more of a proper triangle now than it was before. So it's definitely gotten better. It's a little bit more dynamic than just spam hulks, and it all comes down to just that 1 attack change. They just feel a lot worse than they were in that other patch. Oh, Andy's gonna go wall him in. He's gonna wall this villager in. That could be really nice, especially with hulks. They kill villagers so quickly. That guy right there can only tank like just a few hits before he's dead.
Yeah, I mean,
if you want to keep him.
What it's hooks, right? I guess like somehow hooks kill you faster than fire.
Grappling hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, grappling hooks. Well, fire can be I mean, I guess hooks could be blocked by stuff too. Like in the game universe, in this alternate universe, hooks can like go through things or over things, and fire it's just impossible. Fire can't.
Are they gonna add like a crouch hotkey at some point, so you just crouch to dodge the hooks? I hope not.
I would actually like that. That would be super micro intensive. I would like that better than special abilities on units, to be honest.
Yeah, dude,
I'd rather have a crouch hotkey.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I agreed. ACCM obviously aware now that his Rhino's been stolen, but we've had this chatter before. Oftentimes that scout HP becomes really valuable here, and usually the player who gets lamed is able to manage it. So 3 fishing ships with Japanese. The fishing ships were also out a little bit faster, so resources collected is still higher for ACCM, and his barracks is going up. Definitely going to try and do the combination of water and lands, but if he wants the second dock, his dock villager's walled in, so that's not possible for now.
The thing about Khitans and why that elephant's actually really important here is that they take a long time, or it feels like a long time, when you're playing them to get into that pasture eco and really get that food coming in.
Yeah.
To get to a point where you can produce scouts. So a lot of people open with archers just to get you to that point, and then they go for like double stable or something like that. But with that elephant, that's a nice 400 food boost for Andy. So he's going to get there a little bit faster if he does want to play into some land. Right now, it just looks like he wants to play defensive with walls and then focus on the water.
Look at, he's gone pretty much everything on wood now and switching to gold. But this is what we tend to see, a mix of wood and gold, because on water maps, the ships cost wood and gold. And then usually there's some infantry coming forward. Andy is taking some risks, but he's no stranger to this. He knows that the militia are going to be coming forward because it's Japanese and he saw the barracks. That archer range time and position is bold for me. Those militia could have easily blocked off that space, but he gets the timing down. He's got the walls the other side. I mean, this isn't your typical Civ for this map. It's the first time I've seen it on this map all tournament, but Andy can make this work.
It did. One thing that the militia did accomplish here is it forced him to place it at that time. And now he doesn't even have a Hulk coming up.
Yep, true.
Right? So there's no wood for that because he went for the full walls. He went for the barracks, the house, the archer range. And it's kind of ACCM dictating the game right now.
Yeah.
Whereas with the elephant steel, it probably should have been Andy going for the first Hulk and applying pressure.
Nice quick walls there from Andy. Yeah, the thing to remember is you can garrison your fishing ships in your docks now. I feel like for months we're going to have people showing up being like, wait, what? Like, what is that? Because that's so different. But you can be late to the numbers on water now, and it's not just game over. You actually have some adaptation. You could be patient. So Andy being patient, getting the walls down, still has plenty of food around. There's the tiny details you need if you're not warmed up. If you get housed here, that could stall out your production on docks and town center and archer range. Andy's noticing he needs the houses. But both players need to lock in, and there we go. The Hawks are out for ACCM. He's got 3 already, which is amazing. But the fishing ships get saved for now.
I think they can still kill that villager, right? They can, they just... I noticed this in Thalassocracy as well, where players just wall off their vills. Yeah, I know, but they wall off their vills like it's a fire ship.
Yeah,
and they reposition their Hulks behind other ships too, as if it's a fire ship, right? And the one in front's going to tank damage. I think a lot of it is just muscle memory for them, and Andy loses that villager right away. So he's got 3 Hulks of his own, but ACCM off to a hot start here despite losing the elephant.
It's just been all ACCM, right? Like, it's been amazing. And it's the power of man-at-arms on an open map. But here's what we talked about at the very start, forging. Again, this Civ gets the double effects of forging. So that means Hulk v Hulk. There should be a pretty big difference in damage output. And there's going to be Hawks there for Andy popping out anytime. And then if you use the Hawks far away from your dock and put the fishing ships back in, then the arrows are hitting the other Hawks. Yep. So that's going to be really nice. I think ACCM has to pull back. He will have big issues on water right now, Dave.
Yeah, he's not paying attention to that. He's going to have to go back to his dock. He does save a few of them, and he sent another villager forward, so he can theoretically repair.
Yeah.
As Andy will need to back away from those docks. Andy is still trying to hunt down these men-at-arms. And ACCM, he didn't really need to get into a ranged unit follow-up really quickly because he's spent so much time just running around in the back of Andy's base. So it's still not terrible for him. I did take a peek at the worker efficiency, dude. It's been really nice for ACCM. This has been a really good start so far. Very clean.
But I think if Andy can turn this into a game where the Japanese have not dominated water, which is their best eco bonus now, and he can just start to drop those pastures safely, we know how crazy the food income is on those. I think they nerfed them, right? They nerfed them by like 5%.
A 4%, I think.
4%.
Right?
So I guess, I can't tell you how crazy it is now, but I still think it should be very smooth, very comfortable for him. Mm-hmm. But what he did do is he lost the scout, and he isn't aware of how many skirmishers ACCM has, and ACCM goes right to the archers, gets the first snipe.
I mean, Andy's trying to kill those fishing ships. ACCM clearing up a few Hulks here. He's got the villager forward to repair still. Andy doesn't have a repair villager there, and ACCM, I think, is going to have the advantage on the water. Mm-hmm. He's also pushing back this army. I really like this position for ACCM. I know the pastures are a problem, but it's only 2 so far for Andy. And if he wants to keep investing on water, like the wood supply is going to be a little bit difficult. But Andy turns it around on water again.
Yeah, that
takes out another couple hulks.
I mean, you're now just still trying to do the math here. So, I mean, you're doing double damage to what your opponent can do. And the only time they can change that is if they get to Castle Age. So, this is a specific thing to Andy's civilization. You would never have seen this civilization picked if it was the old Fire Galley or Galley meta, because they have no advantages on water. But Andy's got this tendency where if he just doesn't break, if he gets to Castle Age and just starts to adapt a little bit, add a Monker or two, get into the TCs, he's very dangerous. ACCM's all about hitting the timings and killing an early castle, but we'll see. I am impressed, though. You look back at ACCM's eco. Farms are everywhere. And he's clearly had a style of, let's go full army against this guy. Let's not depend on just walling and playing defensive.
Well, I think that's the way you have to play against Andy, right? Like, I know so many times you have insane pressure against him and he manages to survive and get to Castle Age and whatnot. But I think stylistically, ACCM actually matches up very, very well against Andy, because he'll do this where he doesn't wall at the beginning to have an efficient eco. He'll go forward and pressure it. And then by the time Andy's secure and comes back across, you're going to see full walls for ACCM.
Yeah.
You're going to see like a fully defended base. You're going to see a good eco. And Andy will have been struggling the entire game up to that point.
There is going to be a military problem here, though, because the Japanese, if the opponent has a lot of skirms, the Cav Archer's not really an option. The Archer follow-up not really an option. And Andy has held. Andy's been patient. He will clear up all this army, and he's still remaining competitive on water. I think he did lose his fishing ships a second ago to ACCM, but Castle Age time should be very strong for FreakinAndy here.
That's such a weird market for ACCM. He had to walk all the way around the wall to build that.
Oh, dude, that sucks.
What is such a strange market? Like, why?
Yeah. I like how patient Andy's being. He's just patrolling where the fish are with his hawks. He's like, my hawks are better than yours. I'm just going to deny the deep fish. As long as I deny the deep fish, I'm fine. Andy's on the way up here. But what is Andy's approach? So often Andy's approach in the next stage is just drop town centers and just boom, which isn't taking the map control. And if you don't take the map control from a player like ACCM, you typically have big problems.
Especially with this Civ matchup. You don't want to play late game. Like super late game with Catans, especially against Japanese. Like, I think you probably want to apply a little bit of pressure. Andy might feel like he can get away with 1 extra TC. But if he's going for the 3 TC boom or something, it's probably not a good play. And he's sending 2 villagers forward. So it's not going to be the boom.
Well, he does
be some form of aggression.
Well, he doesn't know exactly what he's running into here, so he has to be careful. I think if the scouts were here already for ACCM, ACCM could potentially clear this. There is the spearman there for Andy, though, so Andy has enough time. Seeing that scout tells him enough, but the spearman just wasn't being held on to. Also, the archer is very weak. That spearman was really valuable.
Does he see the villager?
I don't think he does. No.
Okay, he does now.
But honestly, Andy should switch his game plan anyways. That scout changes a lot. A scout almost helps him, because you're like, okay, I can't go forward now because he can just go knights to clear up my siege. Knowing Andy, he might still commit to it here. There is another spearman coming, and it kills it all.
You don't know when ACCM is going to be up, right?
Yeah, true.
You don't know. ACCM had to use the market a little bit. He's up relatively fast, but obviously Andy's up first. ACCM is still ahead on res collected, despite the pastures.
Yep, that's a fair point. I mean, he's so many farms. He did sell his stone, but as we so often see, he can always just buy his stone back if he wants to build a town center. It should be no problem. And just confusing to me that Andy decided to still move out there after seeing the first scout. He's backing off now, and he's just going to go full boom. So town centers. Fire Lancer. Sometimes forget this Civ gets Fire Lancer, so that's actually quite nice.
I did too. I mean, you're usually focused on the Step Lancers and the Scouts, right?
Yeah.
But Fire Lancer does make sense here. He already has the double attack from Forging, and that's going to chase ACCM back. Cav Archers will come out from ACCM, and there's not a whole lot of skirms on the field from Andy. So this should still be okay.
Well,
and a third TC as well from Andy.
You do still mass the skirmishers faster, so I think it's critical that Andy doesn't lose these. But if he realizes it's going to be Cav Archers, he could always just recover the skirmisher numbers. But So often, if you go immediately to 3 TCs like this, you are not going to have the resources for a lot of military. So he has to be careful, but clock's ticking here for ACCM. Still 1 TC. And he's still keeping things competitive on water, Dave. Sniping some of the fish, maybe. And Andy's pasture count is rising here.
Well, we'll see what damage ACCM can find. A sneaky siege workshop. Not so sneaky anymore. It's been found by the skirmisher of ACCM. And it has no support, essentially, coming across the map. So that siege, if he wants to make it over there, it's going to be very expensive. He's putting a lot of wood into TCs and pastures, and it's going to be a little bit exposed over on that side with no help whatsoever.
It's very exposed. I'm wondering what the read on the game is going to be for ACCM, because if you see that siege workshop, you're never expecting your opponent to have 3 TCs. And nice quick wall there from Andy, but like, can he survive?
ACCM already saw the extra 2 TCs, by the way. He had a scout back there.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, if you know that, then I think you can actually ignore the siege workshop. I still don't know if he spotted it, but you should recognize you can't go for a siege monk push and also be on the town centers. Andy's still very low upgrades. He doesn't have a single castle age upgrade from the blacksmith for his military units, but he's holding behind. He's got the slight eco lead. He can hopefully eventually get into elite skirmisher, but resources still kind of at the limit, and woodlines are still very questionable for him if there's cav archers out there.
Yeah, that siege workshop just kind of strikes me as like he had an idle villager out there anyway, so he made it. Dude, it doesn't seem like it's going to provide that much value, and now it's ACCM with a workshop in the center. He's going to start to push through the middle, and if Andy doesn't get his army count up, he's going to have a big problem.
Yeah, classic Andy, just adaptation and defense. The woodline's an issue. I don't think ACCM realized that woodline was such an easy area for him to pressure until right now. There's not a lot of wood on the back for Andy. He did scout the one woodline, but still, that might not be enough long term. But he's still holding with skirms. And the Siege Workshop Foundation, did that go down or was it deleted? I think it went down.
I think it went down, yeah.
Yeah, that's 200 wood gone then. That's a bit brutal, but he does have the elite skirms there. He is getting ballistics. But it's going to be one thing after another. You finally get to elite skirm, you'll get ballistics, maybe you get bod canero, and then there will be siege from ACCM.
He's got 2 town centers now, ACCM. 11 villas in the queue, so the idle TC time has actually been it's been super clean, all things considered, for ACCM, and he's still ahead on res collected. Just the efficiency has been there. He finally kills that villager to the north, and he's still harassing this woodline to the south. And he doesn't really want to stretch out north because it's still open there, but his wood options in the center looking a little bit dicey. He's going to have to relocate all of these villagers.
Yeah, I think the next minute is really important here. If Andy can clear up this army before the siege comes into play, it's a completely different game. Those knights are not that strong now. The knights don't have any armor, and the skirms will have bodkin and ballistics. So those knights will actually melt. If ACCM dives, he might regret it. That's some nice quick walling there from FreakinAndy. ACCM wants the damage, but the skirmishers are more than fine here to defend. Nice hold from Andy, but the siege still needs to show up for ACCM. It seems like he's waiting. Like he wants Andy to get overconfident or something.
Yeah. I think showing up here with 1 mangonel is probably not great. You show up with 2, and it's just really overwhelming for Andy. But Andy was on stone this whole time. He goes for a castle in the north, so he could make... What do they call it? Louis Bay? Louis Boo? What are they called now? Liao Dao. Liao Dao. I was like, dude, I was thinking Dynasty Warriors, bro. Lou Boo. Louis Bay. Fuck, I haven't seen this unit in so long, dude.
Yeah. I was
Liao Dao.
I was more so laughing at how confused you sounded when you were trying to remember the name. But
yeah, dude, I couldn't.
But you are right. It's just very rare that you see a castle this early if the unit isn't an immediate go-to, right? Like a castle this time, it's like, all right, let's make our camel archers. Let's make our plumed archers or something. But this is not a unit that I think is very good right now. Apparently, they're very strong in melee engagements, so maybe we could see samurai against them later on. But Andy's just simply using the castle to protect all that gold. And now it's triple mangonel out of nowhere. Best of luck to you, Andy, because, my God.
There's something to be said for the element of surprise.
Yeah.
You give up a little bit of potential damage from having that first mangonel there when the army isn't there for Andy. But showing up like this is overwhelming. And look at the villagers going down. ACCM pushes Andy off of that tower foundation. He's in on the pastures now.
Oof.
He gets a shot on the skirmishers. He's adding a 4th TC. And dude, ACCM looks like he's in the driver's seat here. Big time.
I mean, this has been ACCM every single game so far in TTL, just controlling the game with military, super active all the time. The triple mangonel is just perfect. We do have a siege tower out there from Andy. We'll see what happens. They nerfed that. He doesn't know
what he wants to do.
Yeah, he has no clue what he wants to do.
Now.
Yep. It's just adapt. Just full-on adaptation. He will drop another town center in the back. If he could get a castle at ACCM's base against the run of play, things could get interesting, but I don't know what army he's really going to have to protect it. He still needs to clear up this siege somehow. There's some of the Li Daos. But the Li Daos and the rocket carts, that's not really going to be enough to break ACCM. And ACCM just maneuvering himself to this hill, and that town center will melt if the mangonels aren't dealt with.
Is it just me, or is ACCM within the last year just found like this next level of gameplay?
No, it's not just you, dude. It's not just you. Every single time he plays. Every single time he plays. Yep. Nerfed siege tower. It's slower now. It doesn't get as fast. It has less HP, but it is still an option to allow infantry to get in close to save yourself here. Unfortunately, I still think that's really good value for ACCM. He still clears up most of the army.
He holds the hill, too.
And he will hold the hill. Yeah. Yep. And the mangonel will actually get a little bit more.
Does it survive? And he wants to kill that. Skirm pop out. It's 2 HP.
That's so brutal, though, dude. That's so brutal that mangonel and the cav archers are still there.
No, he got it.
He gets the mangonel. He might clear the cav archers, but now we have the army next to a siege workshop getting cleared. ACCM dropping a very nice castle there. Water control long-term is Andy's. I just don't know how useful that's going to be with how little army Andy has on the map right now. It's extremely problematic. Full adaptation eco. He'll be on, what, 5 TCs now?
Yeah.
With no real army plan.
And here comes in from ACCM.
But no, I agree with you, man. I think the thing that's interesting, I want to talk to ACCM about it, but I also see him playing the game less than he did before. Like, he plays less random Black Forest team games. He doesn't play nearly as many ranked games.
I feel like ACCM does a lot of dedicated practice.
Yeah.
And like he treats it very much like a full-time job.
It's a job now.
Yeah, he wakes up, he's got a schedule, he does like 2 or 3 hours of practice, whether it's against opponents or even just builds with the computer. And we talked about this last time, or it was recently, how he doesn't really practice with people that he thinks he's going to face. And that's not just like on a specific tournament, but that's like people that he really wants to beat, like Hera.
Yeah.
Right. Hera gets so much information playing Hart and Leary.
Yeah, I agreed with that. Agreed with that.
Feels like he's got their number. Whereas ACCM, I'm not certain when the last time they actually practiced against each other was.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he were to be spending as much time on the game as he was 2 years ago, or if it's less and it's just more dedicated. We'd have to ask. But I agree. Every tournament he comes completely prepared. And he's come out swinging here, and I just love the details here. This is something that so many people have forgotten about on this map. When you were here 2 weeks ago, we're watching some games on high tides, and we were like, dude, the golden stone in the south is critical. Look at that. Double tower, even a dock down there from ACCM, just to fully secure that.
I mean, all of this talk about ACCM, Andy's still up to him.
Yep, fair.
Andy's got a really good pasture eco, right? Unfortunately, I think Khitans really struggle in Imperial Age against most civilizations. They're kind of like a early game civ. But we'll see what he can do. Yasuma on the way for ACCM. Thumb ring, archer armor, chemistry, everything.
Yeah, the cav archers are going to be extremely strong. Nice shot from Andy to attempt to take some control somewhere. But he'll find the double tower in the dock in the south. His skirms are now going for some counter damage. I feel like we haven't seen Andy in ACCM's base ever since he stole the elephant, honestly. So there's something, but trebuchets are on the way for ACCM. He's building a castle on the hill right in front of the castle from Andy. just to protect the position. And I'm not seeing any easy answers for Andy here. The 45 seconds from him feels like a lifetime, man.
All the texts, the walls, the castles, everything. It's just
It's
right
perfect.
on time.
It's just
for
perfect.
ACCM. It's exactly when he needs it.
All the eco techs, all the military techs, the type of military. He also has the perfect amount of military buildings. 5 feels like the sweet spot. It's not too little. It's not too much. Perfect amount of samurai to chase down the skirms. He's just a god, dude. He's been so good.
He's even getting Kata Peruto and Keep. Like,
Yeah.
dude, the timing on this is unreal.
Yeah. And also 2-man Saul, which is an upgrade, which is important, but people don't usually prioritize
people
it.
don't get.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, he's taking down the Siege Workshop because he knows the Ketons have the camel treb or whatever, the mounted treb, which is crap
good
in my
against his
opinion.
trebs.
But yeah.
Well, it's good against his trebs. It can be good in choke points, I think. I think people undervalue it for what it is. It just takes so long to get into it.
Yeah.
That
The range is the problematic thing for me. It's only 10 range, which feels so limited in most cases. But it's do or die time for Andy now. His Civ does mass skirms a bit faster still, so he's hoping to get the numbers, but good luck.
Tristan, to semi-quote Yoda, there is no do, there is only die.
Yeah, and Andy might have recognized that 5 minutes ago, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just think it's the first game, and he had to play it out a little bit longer. And honestly, a very competitive first game. I felt it was an interesting one. It's just the style difference, right? ACCM is going to be the aggressor. And there were some chatters out there who were like, oh, Laming is an OP. Look at that. And they were just implying that it was unfair that that elephant and those goats wandered home. And it was never a factor. It was never a factor.
Nope.
ACCM controlled the whole game the entire time. Took till imp, but well played.
I want to see the efficiency overall. Yeah, I mean it's a 5% efficiency advantage for ACCM, right? Like
That was so beautiful, dude. I don't want to get ahead of myself right now because we're still early. Don't want to offend anyone because the players have all been playing really well. But if I had to pick top 3 players so far in terms of how they've looked in Titans League, I'd say
Hera, ACCM,
Leary. Yeah, Hera, ACCM, Leary. Yep. ACCM so far has been top 3 for me, but Sebastian's also out there. There's many more names, but we talked about it, right? Andy's not the favorite, but he needs a win. Get 1 win here and then win your final 2 sets and you can survive. So the home map will be the true task now for him. And dude, we've got Coast Arena, which is such a crazy map. I don't think we've actually covered it together yet. Well, Here we go. So far the map of the tournament for me in terms of entertainment, this map produces a lot of really good games. And I was worried about it. I wasn't sure if we'd see it because it is so different. Many high-level players have chosen to ban it, but we have it here for Andy's home map. Andy goes for the Armenians, which feels like it fits the map, right? You have the water on the outside. The Armenians have some awesome naval bonuses. And so having the mule cards plus the good navy immediately makes them good there. They do have good monks, so fighting in the middle could be strong as well. But then you have Spanish on the other side, and the immediate conversation with Spanish is, are they going to get to conquistadors?
Am I crazy for thinking that this is a must-go loom before feudal age map?
I don't think you're crazy. I think maybe you are letting 1 or 2 games live a little bit too much in your head, right? Because I don't know how frequent it is that we're going to see the land play. I don't know.
I mean, I've seen it almost every single time I watch this map. So maybe it's just maybe I'm just influenced by selective games that I've watched here. But
yeah,
it seems like people are getting punished on a regular basis for not snagging that because they're going to try and meet their timings, right? But
you know what I wasn't expecting? So when we created the map, or balanced the map, we intentionally had the main golds and the stones on the walls on the front. Because if that wasn't the case, the guy who would win water would just like, if they got castle drop, they would just wall up and go imp or something with food. So what I thought was we'd have a situation where you invest into water, you then lose your gold and stone on the front. But it's actually making it even more so because the players who are playing water aren't even mining the forward gold at all. They're taking their backup gold on the oysters. So what I thought was going to happen is like, you've got 1,800 gold backup if you get castle dropped. Well, no. You're going to only be mining your oysters already, so you've got like even more damage control to do without gold. So that's been kind of an interesting little detail. Makes sense, I guess, because why make a mining camp or a mule cart on the forward golds when you already have the docks? But just something to think about here.
So what do you think the approach is for both players? Is it going to be the relic contest in the center? Both civs would kind of imply something like that, but they're also, especially Armenia, it's decent on water. So do they go fast feudal into water pressure? Do they just go fast castle into missionaries or maybe warrior priests?
Well, here's what I'm wondering. See, before we were seeing a lot of galleys, and now they've changed the water balance, and now galleys shred hawks, right? I think it's galleys versus hawks and then fires versus galleys.
Yeah, but fires do really well against galleys, yeah.
Well, so can it be galleys now is my first thought. It might be the rare water game where we don't see the galleys and we see fires instead.
No, you go for a few galleys and then you just add like 2 hulks in front and you're good.
Okay. But that's a lot of forward thinking on only water when you have the middle. I don't know. Andy's definitely the better monk player. Andy's definitely a player who would be less aggressive. So I think if anything, Andy will be inclined to bank on just hiding his fishing ships inside docks and stabilizing on water and maybe playing land and going monks. But I have no clue. And that's what's cool. We're round 3. The map's been banned so frequently. And then these balance changes, I really just can't tell you. I think...
Man, I've been saying missionaries should carry relics for 6 years.
Yeah.
I think.
And
they finally get it. And then what's the first thing? I see people complaining that they're too strong before they even test out the unit. Classic. Classic, dude.
I mean, I remember I was very pro missionaries picking up relics years ago as well, but that was prior to the missionaries receiving other buffs. So I think the argument from some people is like, how many buffs does one unit need to get? But let's just have some oh god, I got to be careful with my wording here on the word missionary.
Let's just have some what?
Let's just enjoy.
Let's just have some missionary.
No. Let's just enjoy the missionaries picking up relics for a couple months at least, and if it's is too strong, that we could revert it. Let's not ruin our fun here, you know. Yeah, things got dangerous there. I was gonna say something.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario is everyone's making missionary, right? And if missionary gets to the point where it's boring, then, we need to make a change.
Yeah,
we need to mix it up. Maybe go for some different positions somewhere along the line. Some different civs, potentially.
I hope my mom's not watching the stream right now.
Hi, Mom.
We got 2 docks for Andy. He's adding a lot of fish right now, which I think you can justify on all these maps because of the garrison bonus. And ACCM still 1 dock and is on the stone, so this is definitely conquistadors. But listen, if you're gonna do this, there are some rules for this map. If you are going for the give up water, play land approach, your land pressure has to be super aggressive, and you have to locate where that gold is, Dave. He already sees it. So I'm just saying this because I would hate for the castle to be at home. You can't build a defensive castle when you're gonna lose all your fish here. In my opinion.
The fishing advantage is going to be massive as well. Andy's going to have, 12 fishing ships? 13, 14, something like that. It doesn't show any signs of stopping production. And ACCM has 4. This is really going to spiral in Andy's advantage. And Andy can go for, if he has a similar castle each time, he can kind of go for fortified churches, maybe get some monks out or something. And if he's controlling water, it's going to be very, very dangerous. So the aggression needs to be there for ACCM, for sure.
You know what's rather confusing here? That uptime from ACCM is easily a water uptime. You just don't know if you're Andy. That could be double dock, galleys coming to snipe fish with nothing on stone.
With Spanish, I think you just take that risk.
Yeah.
You just assume that it's not, right?
And Andy certainly seems to think that he can be greedy on water. third dock now. And he's going almost fast castle as well, it seems. It's almost a middle approach. The middle approach meaning you maybe make a couple ships and delay your market and blacksmith for a little while, but the detail from Dark Age that does matter here, Andy's scout is weaker than ACCM's.
Yep.
So he can't move out comfortably without thinking he'll lose his scout, so he can't go look. But maybe it's worth it anyways. If you see where ACCM's scout is, it might be worth a little scouting trip to look for the stone.
And the stone's always going to be at the front, so I think he should definitely be doing that right now. Yeah, he's leaving. Okay, so he sees the scout is over there. He can come forward. He can check the stone, see if ACCM's on it, and then that will give him like a 1.5 minute warning that something is coming. I don't think he can stop it at all.
Yeah, he knows where the gold is. Really should check the area that he hasn't already scouted. I mean, ACCM's got loom in queue, so these vills are coming forward, bro. There's no doubt in my mind these vills are coming forward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when someone's going to forward castle, you pull vills and you vill fight, but the second ACCM sees that, he probably just builds the castle and then kills your vills with the conks pretty quickly.
What is Andy doing over here with the scout? He's paying attention to something else, I suppose.
I think he's just looking for the relics. I don't think he's expecting the castle for whatever reason. And
well, he will now.
He will
Surprise!
now. He will now. And he's on his stone. And he's on the way to Castle Age. A much better economy. Yeah, he just debated Vil fighting that, but then saw that ACCM has loom. And so that castle is going to go up for ACCM.
He doesn't yet, but I mean, Andy doesn't have loom either, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, if in Andy's position, you need to build another layer of walls. Unfortunately, your stone is about to be denied, but Andy's best skill set is damage control. So,
yep.
This is a significant eco lead. We're talking 13 fishing ships with the fishing lines upgrade against 4 without. But it's conquistadors, and we also might see our first sighting of the missionary.
Yeah, there's a Hulk coming forward from ACCM, but Hulk is going to be there from Andy to defend him. One Hulk, because of the arrows from the docks, can't really do all that much damage. The castle's up now. The missionaries are coming out to grab the relics. I love the fact that Andy has just like weaseled as much stone as he possibly could from this area before he leaves. So that he only has to buy like, I don't know how much they're holding here. They're holding 19. So he's only going to have to buy what? 300 stone, I guess.
I just need to remind everyone that the conquistadors can kill fishing ships as well. So I know the docks can garrison and whatnot, but there's still a lot of resources on the outside that could be ranged. The conquistadors are running in. A church for Andy here to protect his eco. Church will complete, but this is already looking nightmarish for him.
This is a disaster.
Yeah, this is horrible. This is just horrible. But he will leave his, is this okay? I'm trying to determine if this is fine or not. He will get a TC up. He still has the eco lead. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah. He's also killing the fish. This might actually be fine. Also, missionaries out there doing its thing to pick up the relics, which you love to see.
Do you still have your T90 fine emote?
I do have the T90 fine emote.
That's a perfect example. The T90 fine right now for Andy. You're like, this is fine. This is fine. We're going to be okay.
This is the first time I've seen these missionaries actually holding the relic. It looks very nice.
Yeah.
They do move slower with the relic, by the way. I saw some people commenting on that. They're slower when holding the relic, which makes sense. Andy is the classic T90 fine player. Like, he's always in a state where you're looking at it and, like, the average player wouldn't be uncomfortable, but he can usually balance it out and make it work. But
I feel like he struggles to do that, though, against people of ACCM's level. Like, some of the players that are maybe 1 tier below or even a half tier below ACCM, he can pull out the wins. But against guys like Hera or ACCM or Leary or whatever, he does kind of struggle to hold on well enough because they're applying so much damage.
This is just,
and they're adding eco behind and keeping their TC running.
Welcome to playing ACCM, though. You finally clear up the one area. You're finally starting to breathe. and then he will find the next area that he can do damage.
He's on your berries.
And now, now the Conquistadors just run over here. Perfect blocking as well from ACCM. We'll get a couple Vil snipes, but he could just run to the back if he wants to. He could run to the back, disrupt the fish with the conks. He'll fall back now. He'll wait for the siege. Pretty soon, there's going to be a massive ram push from ACCM, which could take down the starting TC, could take down the houses. This could be really bad for Andy.
Still does have stone, though. So he could rat mode all the way on this right side. He knows he has the fish advantage. So that's a lot of extra res coming in. He's got like 1.5k extra res collected over ACCM at the moment. And if he gets a castle up over here, it could be concerning for ACCM. But I think it's only a matter of time before ACCM starts focusing on the water a little bit and maybe trying to deny these fish. He's got a couple hulks and he's still got these conquistadors. And goodbye, TC.
Andy, forget your base exists, say goodbye to your lands, and go somewhere else, my friend, because it is no longer safe here. And I mean, in a hurry. If he can drop a castle on ACCM's walls, they could just completely base swap here. And then ACCM, all that protected eco could be under pressure. That's what I think the play is. While your TC goes down, is just bring your Vils and your monks and drop a castle there fast.
Yep.
What a game.
We'll see if ACCM allows him to.
Yeah.
Right? Because these conks are going to come back at some point. The missionaries are still going to be there. If Andy wants to do this, he's got to do it now. And he's sending the villagers forward. He doesn't have the gold to buy the stone.
Market's there for that, Dave.
So
Market's there for that. Let's
and there we go.
Let's go,
Castle
dude.
going up, but it's only 6 villagers at the moment. He's sending 4 more. The scout is there. ACCM will know about this. And ACCM is now hunting down the fishing eco on the right side. He went through the walls, the seawalls. They're weak.
Yeah. I think the seawall was actually deleted so the docks could go up as well. Vils and fishing
Conks
ships will
are
be found.
Atonement's in! Oh no!
Atonement's in!
Oh, it's a disaster. This isn't fine.
Oh my god. The fact that he got atonement for the missionaries converts all the monks. It was the right play from Andy to drop this castle, but ACCM, beast mode today. I mean, can you complete it? 78%. I don't know, man.
That ain't going up.
That ain't going up.
That's not going up.
Wow. That's just sick.
He's going to have to send the whole family. He is getting some conversions here, though. So the conks will be converted. And then he'll have a few of those. ACCM did a ton of damage. Look at the Eco KD. 36-3 at the moment. And the conks killed a bunch of stuff over on the right when Andy was, rightfully so, very distracted.
Atonement's in for both now, so they're both converting the other's monks. So now there's some missionaries on the Armenian side, but monks and conquistadors is way better than just monks. And more villagers from Andy are getting sniped.
This is oh jeez.
Dude, I'm so impressed. I am so impressed that he ended up snagging the atonement upgrade amongst everything else. I know it's just clicking one upgrade, but the fact that he took down the starting TC, got to all the fishing ships, had conks there to deny the castle, and had all 3 conversions lock in there at the perfect time was just... It feels like he's thinking 3 steps ahead. Masterclass from ACCM. What a game.
Andy's just got to be sitting back going like, what?
What just hit me? Yeah.
Got hit by a truck, man. Especially after the first game with the 3 mangonels showing up as well.
Yep.
Just kind of, it's these moments for ACCM where it just feels like huge swings.
What do you do differently? Just like thinking about this, because we'll see this map again. What can Andy do differently in that game? Is there anything? It feels like making your own monks makes sense. Maybe you play like feudal age archers and just stop the castle from coming up on your face, but even that feels like it delays your castle age time. That once that castle's up, it's just so tough. Yeah, it's so tough.
I don't know. I feel like you have to go back to the Civ draft and try something else.
Ban Spanish. Yeah, ban Spanish so that doesn't happen. But my God. Well, same thing applies, even though it won't be Andy's home map down, but Andy needs to snag a win here. He gets swept. He's in the relegation zone big time. So let's see if there's an early barracks. I would kind of expect it. We have the new DLC civilization at play, the Muisca. And many of the new civs were banned, but It was the #1 pick for ACCM. This civ advanced to the next stage. Cheaper when it comes to the gold cost, which would be for Castle Age and Imp. There's settlements, which is your new eco building, which drops off all resources, heals nearby units, and costs less, so it's only, what, like 100 wood? And then your Champion Warriors, which is your infantry and archery range units, get extra melee armor. Very strong monks. The Guecha Warrior, though, Dave, that unique unit's actually insane. It feels way stronger than a skirm. I know
they get HP back when one of their fellows dies as well.
Oh, wow.
So it is kind of crazy in mass. I think like they will struggle against mass champion in Castle Age. In Imperial Age, though, they actually feel pretty good. I was watching a game. It was Shixo against someone else. I can't remember who it was, but it was a person who was like way higher rated than him. And Shixo was dead. And then he's like, hang on a second. Don't kill me. Let's have a mock battle in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
And they were both playing Muisca. So it was full Guecha versus a full army of champion, and the Guecha did win. It was Siscon, I think it was.
They have six base attack. To me, they're really mobile, so they're not a skirm for me. They feel very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're classed as the skirm. There might be some details there, but this is the settlement. There's been some complaints about the new DLC. There always will with anything new. I like the idea of the settlement. The settlement's really cool.
I like the settlement. It's great. Yeah, and it's kind of like it does make the eco smooth at the beginning, but it's also kind of too big
for later on. I mean? Yeah. It's awkward too.
And even early, like look, he has to send the villagers all the way around the other side to get them on the wood line. So you got some early inefficiencies. It's still very, very nice, though, because these civs do need some sort of bonus early. I think they do struggle a little bit in the late game.
Agreed. Yeah, the late game is still questionable for me compared to most of the civs out there. It's just like any civ that lacks stable units. You lack an area of the tech tree that can typically be valuable for AoE. Andy came forward. I don't think he got any massive lames, but he might have stole a sheep or two. But he will know the way that this game will play out is Muisca early because they have the settlement on the wood and the gold, so you could take both. It's very easy to get early pressure. And then the way your eco bonus, you have to research eco text to get more vills. So it should be full on defense here from Andy. He tries to hold, and if he can survive, the way are crazy strong.
I mean, if we're thinking about the tech trees here, like, what do Muisca do against Tiger Cav if we go late?
Yeah, they don't get Halb. A Tiger Cav.
They don't.
Yeah, Tiger Cav would be a real issue for this civ. That's true.
That'd be a problem, bro. He'd have to go like full clown monks to deal with that.
Monks, maybe mixing some pikes too, but like pikemen just don't do near as much bonus damage as Halb. And people are saying Temple Guard. Yeah, a Temple Guard might be your best option there, depending on the stats and the cost and all that.
I'd have to see the matchup.
Isn't it?
I have to see it.
I mean, there's a mobility difference, though, right? So the Tiger Cav should be able to pull away.
Yeah, obviously they just run in circles. Yeah. Ooh, little outpost action from ACCM. This is one thing that you could use the champion for on slopes, because normally you're kind of debating, right? Like, which area do I go over?
Yeah, dude.
For early pressure.
Yeah.
But with the outpost there, now you'll know.
Yeah, military unit can build outposts here. And that one's a little ambitious.
Might want to delete that guy. Post rush.
Oh, man. But, dude, you can... I'm sorry, but if you're outposting around someone's base, it feels like a huge mental advantage. It's just a flex, right? It's so annoying when you're sitting there and military units are like, I see you now, so... That's cool, though. ACCM moves to the sides. Will he outpost the other side? I'm not sure. But these champions... They move very fast in Dark Age, way faster than a militia. I think it's something that will eventually be adjusted because militia, at least, the Vills could outmaneuver a little bit, but look how fast these are for Dark Age. And wow, Andy, well played with the quick walls.
One of the best quick wallers in the game.
Yeah. And one of the best defenders in the game, but he's just had a tough time. He needs a better mix of offense and defense to beat ACCM, but now it's ACCM's home map. And this is also now on the back of 2 straight losses. It's hard to pull together your best Age of Empires.
I mean, it's hard to count on ACCM making a mistake at the moment as well. That might be the biggest mental hurdle, right?
Yeah.
Trying to convince yourself that he is still human and he can make those mistakes and you can take advantage of it.
But look at how fluid the early game is here. There's a settlement on the outside. That's for all the food income. Settlement for extra wood. And then that pop space, man, is crazy. You got 40 pop space. He's built 3 houses. Sorry, he built 4 houses this game. So it's not like it's only settlements, but a good pressure here. Andy will sacrifice his scout to weaken these units. Ooh, he saves the scout.
He saves it. Nice. That's good damage.
And he'll drop
and he
an
goes for
archery.
the range in front of the berries, so he's fairly secure over here, but he's not taking advantage of the extra resources on the outside, the hares, the fish, nothing. Right? He feels very, very stuck in here, and he's going to have to mass up archers to push this stuff away. Meanwhile, ACCM, on the way to the feudal age, is almost there. He's going for the full walls at his base, and his resources are looking pretty good to get the Champy Warrior upgrade. Yeah.
Runner. Runner is the
Champy Runner, and then it's Champy Warrior, and then it's Elite.
it goes
Warrior, right?
yeah, Scout, Runner, Warrior, and then Elite Warrior. Yeah. Well, the run is accurate, but I guess it doesn't increase their speed. It just stays the same.
No,
That's what they have
I think
right
their
now.
speed stays the same throughout the entire game, right?
We'll see if the devs agree. I really think it just should be slower in Dark Age. It makes a lot of sense.
Obviously the problem is you don't want to nerf them too much because they're not a late game powerhouse Civ.
Yeah, of course.
So
yeah.
Got to give some play to this and actually make them like viable.
But there's also a lot of late game powerhouse civilizations that we will never ever see touch tournaments, right? Like, So yeah, it's tough balance. ACCM will have the control at the very least. He hasn't killed any vills, only killed the scout in the middle of the map, but every game has been ACCM setting the tone with his aggression. That's what it is again here.
And the walls are going to be up by the time Andy comes back across, if he gets a moment to come back across.
Yeah, I think would be interesting to see Andy clear this and then try and take the resources on the side and then encounter that outpost and then nope right back to his base. That would be so funny.
Tristan, the power move would be to just send vills out there anyway. That would be the power move.
Yeah.
I think he saw the outpost earlier with the scout. Oh, he didn't see
No,
it.
he didn't see it. I think he'll never take the risk now because there's too much army activity, but also, you know what I will do? If I see someone building outposts like that, I'm also playing with champies. I'm going to build an outpost right next to their outpost.
Right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's their dominance.
It's like I see the same thing as you, bro.
I mean, he is still the way, right? And usually if you're playing defensive like this with the way and you don't take any damage early, you can get your eco upgrades, you get the villager advantage, you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah,
You can
agree.
go into John Bay. If we're in the late game matchup between these two civs, we thought Tiger Cav would be really nice. So maybe Andy doesn't feel too bad about this, right? He just slowly gets the walls up, masses his archers, gets his eco upgrades, and he's feeling okay.
I mean, you got to take some risks at some point, and he's going to focus on the south, it seems. Now, if he gets there, dude, 5 villagers are just finishing up the food. What's the timing on this? We have 25 food and 50 food on these hares. It would be
They're gonna
just
walk away.
it
at
would
the
be
perfect
just
moment.
like the favorite in the series for these vills to
Yeah.
somehow finish the food right when they need to. But my God, dude, this is close.
And ACCM is sending a champion out there because he knows the threat.
But he's attacking as well.
The
and-
bills are going to drop off.
oh, Andy will
Archers are
find
here,
him.
and it's going to find value.
Yeah, Andy's going to find value. Big time value. But you can tell he's a little distracted at home right now. He's lost 2 villagers. He needs more archers there. But if you're taking the loss at home, Andy, you have to dive for these vills. He's got 1.
This is really bad for ACCM. He's opened up the wall to get the villagers inside, and there's really nothing in defense here. There's a couple champion, but that's a lot of archers, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot of archers. That's really good damage from Andy. Rare mistake here from ACCM. Little bit of luck from Andy. A little bit unlucky for ACCM.
Andy's
But that's
so
what you
busy
need.
though. Andy's so busy though. Quick walling and stabilizing at home. He's ended up losing 3 vills. The champions for ACCM end up getting the clear up. Eco KD ends up being 4-4,
4-4, yeah.
which I guess is okay for Andy because you will have the additional vills, but most of the eco was actively working for ACCM. The only eco that wasn't working were those villagers running home.
Damn.
So
if Andy didn't run into the TC, if he took a better line around that settlement, that could have been so devastating for ACCM.
I just think
like you said, he was busy. He had champions in the wood line, so
it's really cool though that outpost there for ACCM essentially told him that was still open. He would have never made the move for that if he didn't have that vision. And he also has the outpost right in front of the berries. Now, this outpost thing is going to be really intimidating. It's really strong.
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to have an Ethiopian teammate one of these games with these guys. I'm just going to put them everywhere. We're going to have spies from the get-go, dude. The whole team.
It is nice to see.
Great.
I mean, maybe then people will actually build outposts with the Ethiopian bonus, because I feel like people are building outposts more and more in late game these days, but in the mid game, really bothers me when people don't research them with Ethiopians or build them with Ethiopians.
Castle Age on the way for ACCM. Andy's resources looking decent. He's still got 3 vills in the queue. And he's gotten a couple of his eco upgrades. Villager count still 3 ahead for him, but ACCM, he not only has the army wandering around, but he's also got these outposts, which kind of play into your mind if you're Andy, right? You just feel like your opponent's got some map control. They got some presence here.
He's actually attacking the one outpost to get rid of it, which is villager time. Maybe it's just a misclick. But this Champy Rush looking very strong. The units are only going to get stronger. I think the key now would actually be a siege workshop for ACCM. Infantry siege push. Start to ram down the front of the base.
You can repair with these? I didn't realize you could repair it with those.
He goes back up and repairs it.
Runs over, repairs it, and then runs away. That's
so annoying, man.
And you know he had, like, if I know ACCM, like, he had the slightest smile on his face.
Yeah, but it's a devious look. It's the devious ACCM look. Yeah. I mean, how are you supposed... You've lost the first 2 games. You're completely surrounded by these speedy units. How are you supposed to feel any confidence right now if you're if you're Andy? This is brutal. Just brutal. He'll be laid up. He'll drop the stable behind. Playing in towards stable units feels like the play against the infantry. He does try to cut off the champies. He'll get 1 kill, maybe more. But now Castle Age is in, and oh boy. Honestly, you could maybe trade against these though before they're upgraded. That's a fine time to take the fight.
Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
Ooh, Archers with a little bit of bad pathing through there. But he's going to keep some of them alive, and he's going to take some HP off of these. Now he's got some skirms as well to back those up. Forward Siege Workshop, though, from ACCM. Second town center behind on the stone of the wood line. And the pressure is not going to stop on Andy's base.
Yeah, more quick walls needed for Andy. Honestly, though, that was a good fight for him. He got some kills. Yes. Now he gets the quick walls in towards the town center. He still has the archers.
He's got to stop these from getting in. He's got to stop these from getting in. He can't get the house down on time. Can he protect the wood line? These things are way stronger now. They're 9 attack now. They can kill villagers quite quickly.
The other wood line as well could be overchopped. There's a lot to pay attention to for Andy. He's in Castle Age, but the upgrades just seem significant enough now. The archers don't do a thing. Andy also had pre-queued a scout, so he can't immediately get a Hae Guang. So the response to this is going to be very late, and the overchop on the left, and yeah, Andy's completely toast here.
He's got villagers at the back there too. You can see the bodies near the gold.
Yeah, this is just so well played from ACCM. It was his #1 pick. We've seen a lot of #1 picks dominate. Obviously, in this case, it's the tournament debut for the Muisca, but a lot of this is also the player, man. The player controlling the civs today has just been too good.
Yeah, I mean, it feels so bad for Andy too, because you saw the weakness there of going full champion, as he calls the GG. He had a moment with the archers.
Yep.
Where if he had kept like all 5 of those alive, ACCM's eco would have been absolutely devastated. Like devastated to the point where ACCM maybe even needs to consider a defensive range at home to clear those archers or a tower or something. But it wasn't, because he was busy at his own base and he couldn't take advantage of the mistake from ACCM.
And like, it's a combo too as far as the Civ matchup goes. The Way are a slow cook Civ. They're slow cook. Take your time, get your walls down. They don't have any early bonuses to get excited about. It's just over time, you get more vills. This isn't really a slow cook map. This was not a slow cook game, right? ACCM with early pressure, ACCM moving out to the fast food on the sides. It was just, yeah, it was just perfect. So it'll be interesting. If anything, it makes the Andy sets even more exciting the next 2 rounds because they're very much do or die for him. Of course, with 5 bans on the draft, players could have banned out the Muisca if that's a complaint there for Andy. But I think the big thing for Andy was his home map today. That Costa Rica game, that's the one he wanted to get the win on. And just ACCM too good on every setting. Went God mode. Sheesh.